Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character examiner by me. So let's get into it. Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya hated when things that were not supposed to happen like this happened, and he felt like he was too powerless to stop them. After all, he was not the principal, not a teacher, and he certainly could not expel a student. And it's not like he will actually make it so Mineta can't go at all, as in permanently damaging him. Although, according to the girls, that wouldn't be so bad to happen, and he had to question just how bad things were for them. But he's seen it, and right now, he thinks it wouldn't have been too bad of a choice to do that, because Mineta is trying to snap a picture while sneaking down, trying to look up your skirt and take a photo of that. That's when he slaps him over his head and grabs him roughly by the scruff of his jacket, looking him in the eye. Just what were you thinking, Mineta? And before Mineta could even say a word, Midoriya slams him into the wall, and when you spin around to see what's happening, it's the first time that you see true rage in Midoriya's eyes. He's angry in a way that you're not really able to comprehend, because just what is going on? You can't describe it. The way he's so upset, the way he's so furious. It's rather concerning to say the least. But you're here with him, and you will try to make him feel better. Actually, he don't think you can, because when Mineta tries to get a word out, he glares at him. It's clear that you weren't thinking of anything, Mineta. And I swear on my soul, I will not leave you until you're expelled. And that's when Aizawa comes into the room. Upon hearing Midoriya's words and the sound of someone fighting. Just what is going on in here? Midoriya looks at him. But there is resolve in his eyes, and he's not backing down. And he's not leaving Mineta either. Mr. Aizawa. He was trying to take pictures of her. He was trying to look up her skirt with a phone and take a picture of it. And Mineta, who looks like he's a very scared person right now, and on the verge of passing out, looks at Aizawa pleadingly. But Aizawa's not going to forgive this. Not at all. Thank you, Midoriya. I fully appreciate your effort for protecting my students. Now your job here is done. Hand them to me. And Mineta is even more scared now, because Aizawa takes them, and the rest of your class, you just never see him again. But you do know that he's expelled the next morning, and that Shinzo will be replacing him in your class. And actually, that's the happiest news you've ever had since joining UA High, because Shinzo is a much better classmate and person, at least has a brain, a good technique, and the quirk, and that's all you really need with someone. You would much rather spend your time with someone who is rude, rather than in the presence of someone like Mineta, and Shinzo was not even rude. So you're quite grateful for the change. Bakugo Katsuki. Now, Katsuki is actually... Oh, Katsuki. He's not merciful at all, and if Midoriya was scary and angry, then Katsuki was exploding. Literally and figuratively. Yes, quite literally, in fact. He had grabbed him and exploded him into the wall, and it was a miracle that Mineta had not passed out. You didn't know what was going on because you didn't notice, until you heard him shouting. And just what words he was shouting. Just what were you thinking doing that to her? I wasn't doing anything, Bakugo, Mineta tried to say, but he was not really great at convincing him, especially with the way he was holding the phone and angling it just a couple of seconds ago. So that earned him another punch, and another with each lie, until he admitted, and the rest of the girls were staring. most of them envying you because you had such a lovely boyfriend. And honestly, you could not afford to be concerned about someone like that. Mineta deserved every punch and every explosion coming his way. So really, even if you were acting like you were concerned, you were not. And if there was something to be concerned about, it was certainly Katsuki's reputation. And you're worried that he may get punished for physically assaulting a classmate. So you stand there and worry and hope. Just hope that Aizawa will not know about this. But there's not much to hope for, especially when it's so easy for Aizawa to know. Because he comes there, only mere moments later, and he asks for what happened. Of course, he does not believe Katsuki because Katsuki starts up many arguments. But many girls chime in, and boys as well, and they tell him everything. And once he actually grabs Mineta's phone, Mineta planches because he's terrified, begging Aizawa not to do that until he finds many inappropriate pictures. Aizawa deletes all of them, and Mineta does not only get expelled, but he actually gets thrown into juvenile jail for a couple of months. And you're quite happy about that. He did deserve this, and a lot more. After all, he was trying to. He did not know what he was going to use his pictures for, but you could only imagine. And he was such a creepy classmate. Katsuki sat with you after, and held you in his arms. I promise you, I'll never let anyone hurt you, or try to do anything bad to you, no matter what, alright? I know that, Katsu. I trust you, and in the end, nothing really happened. I'm just glad that you are okay. I mean, I wasn't worried about Mineta doing something to you. I was more worried about you getting punished. But I'm glad that Mr. Aizawa understood. Me too. I was thinking I was gonna get expelled. And he still did that? For me? He blushed then, and he did not respond. But you already knew his answer, and you treasured it dearly.